Hi guys, it's Jax here again today, and I'm doing another flashlight review. A little bit different today in that I'm doing it outside rather than inside at night on the countertop at the other place. But the flashlight we're reviewing today is a small everyday carry type of flashlight called the Eagletac T10C. I'll let you get a look at the light here. So what we're looking at here is a small single cr123 or 16340 RC or slash RCR123 light. So it will accept both rechargeable lithium ion 123 size cells or the primary cr123as. So okay, so having said that, what we have here is a tiny light. It has this huge head on it, so it's pretty unique in that it has this tiny little body and this huge head. I think the head's off the Eagletac T10C too. So it has what you might want to call a bigger light's head on it. But so for such a tiny little light, that's you know, about as big as my forefinger is. So pretty small little light. I'm just gonna pull out my through night neutron here, and I would have to guess that the Eagletac, doing a little quick measurement, I don't have exact stats on it, but I would have to guess that it's about 3.5 inches long, with a 1.25 inch head bezel diameter, I would guess, and maybe a 1 inch or less diameter body here. Maybe 1 inch here and maybe 0.8 of an inch here, something like that. So less than an inch in diameter here and probably an inch in diameter here, and maybe 1.25 or more inches diameter here. So yeah, so we have a small two-mode flashlight here. It has a momentary on tail switch, and it is a forward momentary on tail switch, which means that before you even let go, it's turned on. So it's a forward tactical momentary on tail switch. So I guess let's tell you a little. Let's go into the details. So what we have here is a nice, nice black color anodization, Type 3 hard anodization, which is military spec, the hardest and toughest out there. It looks to be done pretty nice. The colors seem to be equal. Really neat body design. In that the head, it's an attractive light. It has these cutouts or scalloped or whatever you might want to call it, styling cues on the bezel. Might be for anti-roll, probably for an anti-roll feature. Stainless steel removable bezel up at the front. Deep carry pocket clip. I mean, when you throw that in your pocket, only the little crown is going to be sticking up. So that's a good deep pocket clip. It is removable. It is the type that is you simply pull it off. Probably takes a pretty good amount of pressure to pry it off, but it's a pretty sturdy clip. Good tension on it. On the body we have I guess laser engraved Eagletac, the manufacturer, and then here's the high and low. So as you can see, it says high and low. That's to tell you that this is a two-mode flashlight, and you access the modes by twisting the head from low to high. So, and whatever position you leave the head on is where the light will come on when it's turned back on. So two-mode, and we'll talk about the power in that when we finish talking about the body. So up here we have a really neat tail cap with a good stiff clicky switch. Really nice crowned or craniated bezel up here, almost like a Surefire E2D kind of thing. It's really nice. It's kind of sharp edge. It's like a tactical strike tail cap, if you want to call it that. So, and it has a lanyard hole here, and you could probably attach a lanyard onto the clip as well. So on this side we have T10C, and then Eagletac 687, whatever that means. So one thing about this light is everything's accessible. You could unscrew the stainless steel bezel ring, pull out the glass, which is a good time to mention. It is a probably a hardened ultra clear coated glass, so that it has a 99% light transmission. Sitting at the bottom of that great big has a great big deep orange peel reflector, what I would call moderately or heavy orange peel. At the bottom of that is a cr123a LED. So the thing about the LED is I don't know if it's a Q5 or an R2 or what bin it is. The packaging didn't say R2. I guess I would have to venture a guess and say it was a Q5, but it might be an R2. So you can see that heavily textured orange peel reflector. Really nice deep, and a really nice deep removable stainless steel ring here with looks to be so. Okay, so anyways, this is O-ring sealed. So sorry, I'm kind of losing my place here. If you take all this stuff out, you can get to the guts and the emitter down there and stuff like that, and maybe pull out the light engine and solder a new one in and stuff like that. So looks nicely made. It's all accessible and stuff like that. So really nice stainless steel craniated bezel. I forgot to mention on the body there's these little machined grooves, not these flats here, but these little machined grooves, which is nice. And also some nice knurling on this body. It's a little bit different than the standard diamond checkered type of knurling. This is more of a square cut, rectangle cut knurling. It's not the grippiest thing in the world, but I guess it adds more purchase. So these cutouts on the side, these flat parts on the side might be to allow this to be mounted to a gun, although I'm not too sure. So yeah, so nice looking light. The tail cap unscrews, and you could fiddle around with the, if you see me twisting at it, you can get in there and fiddle around with the stuff in the switch, I would imagine here. So yeah, so there's the switch just sitting there. It's removable. Kind of a different thing. The switch pulls right out, and a lot of the lights don't have that. You have to unscrew the switch. This is a little bit different. Giant O-ring down there, great big thick body on this thing, anodized threads up here. So big O-ring there, and it's a good time to tell you that this is a IPX8 waterproof light. Anodized screw threads here, so you might be able to get a lockout function on there. So like I said, IPX8 waterproof light, which means it's submersible, and you could go swimming with it. So I'm just going to see if this is a lockout tail cap here. And it appears to be a lockout tail cap. So I'll just make sure this is all in there hunky-dory. Sorry guys, I'm kind of screwing around here. Okay, so lockout tail cap. Looks like the battery's dying on me. I might have to switch batteries. So really neat design. If you look at this light, since it has these cutouts here, like I mentioned in some of the other lights, this thing could be operated by a cop or a policeman with gloves on. It does that tactical positioning really well. You can either, it's got enough room to put your that part of your thumb in it, or this part of your thumb. In fact, it's really big, so man-sized hands with gloves on hopefully won't have too much of a problem with that. So really neat, and I gotta add, this is one of the most comfortable lights I've ever felt in this cigar style position, or whatever you want to call it. It is extremely comfortable, pretty decent holding it. You know, the clip is removable, but it's a substantial, chunky, little tiny guy, so it's not too bad. But that's an especially comfortable grip. This grip here, it's just really comfortable. These cutouts here are just so nice. It's just so very nice. So okay, so like I mentioned when I took the tail cap apart, huge, thick body. This thing's going to be a tank. It's going to be really tough. It might be able to, you might be able to drive a car over it without squishing it or worrying about that. So up here we have another O-ring. So like I said, it's waterproof. You can submerge it, take it out in the rain, stuff like that. Not anodized threads up here, which might be necessary because it's a twisty light. I'm not 100% sure about that. It has what looks like to be a built-in mechanical polarity protection system here, so that you don't install the batteries in backwards. It doesn't look like you can unscrew the pill from this end. So you might be able to access it when you take the stainless steel bezel ring off and pull it out that way. So, but look at the thickness of that body. That is really, really thick. So if you, this might be able to be machined to, you might have, this might be thick enough that you can have tritium slots machined into it and stuff like that. So super thick. Looking down the barrel here, we have anodized interior. And here we have a Surefire cr123a battery. So like I said, it'll accept lithium ion or lithium cells. Maybe even the rechargeable 3-volt LiPo or whatever. Surefire sells a rechargeable 3-volt version of this, and it might be able to accept that too. So that's the big thick body. I mean, look at that. It's just really thick. So let's talk about output, runtime, stuff like that. And if you pardon me, I'm just going to go and grab the holster and give me a sec. I'll grab the holster and some other stuff here. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. And it looks like the battery's dying in my this light, so I'm going to go and throw a new cr123 in there. It might need replacing. So here we are with an Eagletac. It's actually an Eagletac using an Eagletac cr123a, so we're going to pop that in there. Screw that in. Oh, I got to mention double O-rings. Double O-rings on this part. O-ring up there, it's got a lot of O-rings in it, so it's pretty well sealed. So we're screwing that together. Okay, so in the package you'll get an attractive holster. Let's just get that other battery out there. So in the packaging, which is this store shelf type of packaging, you'll get a holster, 2 spare O-rings, and a spare clicky switch boot. You'll get a manual, user manual, and probably warranty registration card, stuff like that. So here we have the nylon Velcro holster. Nice little guy. Clip sticks out there. It's pretty attractive. It reminds me a lot of the Phoenix TK11 holster, just smaller. It might be built by the same people. So you have here a lanyard that comes with it, which happens to be on the holster, so I forgot to mention it probably comes with the lanyard. I think it's a quick breakaway lanyard, if I'm not mistaken. You unscrew it, or you could pull it apart. I might be wrong on that. I thought it pulled apart. I don't want to break it though, but so you get a nice, looks to be a paracord, probably a paracord lanyard. And here's the holster. Really nice, good secure solution here for holding it, if you don't want to use the pocket clip. Carabiner attachment point here. It has a quick attachment point for your belt, which is a Velcro loop, and then behind it is the sewed-on loop in case you want a more secure purchase or attachment solution there. So really nice little package here. We got Eagletac on it. Your standard kind of nylon holster. Okay, so it looks pretty good. So like I said, you'll get the O-rings and and O-rings and the switch cover boot, a lanyard, and the holster. Okay, so when you have a small light like this with a great big head, you're going to have big light performance in a small package. So this light with the XRE puts out 220 lumens on its maximum setting. I don't know if this is out the front lumens. It is a digitally regulated light, which I think it has almost perfectly flat regulation, which means it'll drain the battery it'll maintain a constant brightness until it drains the battery to a point where it drops out of regulation or shuts itself off. So 220 lumens on maximum. So what we have here is a big head, and since it's a XRE, they opted to use the orange peel reflector. That's probably to smooth out the beam, take away the cr rings that come with XRE emitters, and to give you a more pleasing beam. It's got a pretty good, decent amount of throw, pretty tight hotspot, and pretty decent spill. The spill itself is a 160 lux, so that's a decent amount of spill. It is a what I would say a cool white tint on this. I don't think they came with neutral white or anything like that. So cool white tint. But yeah, that aluminum orange peel reflector is to smooth out the cr rings that come with XREs. Now, so throw on this thing is 5,000 lux. 5,080 lux with a 16340 or cr123, or 5,100 lux at 1 meter with a cr123a. So it appears to be optimized for cr123as in its power output. This has a 800 milliamp driver in it, I believe, or a 0.8 amp driver. So it really puts out the power, and it really drains the batteries rather quickly. So this thing's being pushed pretty hard for an XRE. Like I said, 200 lumens and 220 lumens in such a small package is pretty impressive. Those might be out the front totals. Okay, so like I said, you turn the light on, and if you tighten the head, it's on turbo. And if you loosen it, it goes into low. Turbo was 220 lumens, and low is 60 lumens. So 60 lumens is such a nice, good amount for walking around and doing most everything that you would want at night. And then you just have the option of twisting the head or whatever to peek a little further into the distance. So 60 lumens is a nice secondary level because it does allow you to use that level for most everything in general use. Like I said, this thing really sucks the batteries down. In the manual I'm holding here, it says that it takes 0.7 of an hour, so less than an hour, less than 3/4 of an hour, and it will drain the battery on max. And a little bit better is 5.5 hours at the lower setting, which is 60 lumens. So that's acceptable. But I must admit, this is one of the more thirsty lights that I've ever seen that takes a cr123. I have looked on information online that said it got only 31 minutes of runtime with the cr123. And a little bit longer with the 16340, which is kind of weird because a 16340 has less milliamps and stuff like that. But so not the greatest run times. If you have a bunch of just laughing at these little chickadees scooting around, so not the greatest run time. You might want to go with rechargeables for this and have a pocket full of them. But you know, if you only use it a few times a night, going out to your car and stuff like that, that 0.7 hours on max will last for, you know, for a long time. And if you go for a walk, a 45-minute walk with your dog or something like that, you know, with with a battery in the light and a battery in your pocket, you could probably crack off an hour and some of walking time. So so how does this stack up to other lights its size? Well, it has poorer run times. It probably will have more throw than most lights this size. I mean, it has 5,000 lux, and that's decent. I might take you inside now and show you a beam shot, but hang on a sec here. I'm going to put this camera by the bird feeder and see if any visitors come and... Oh, they're staying, I think they're staying away from the camera. What we have here is nuthatches and chickadees, so we'll see if you can sneak up on these guys here. That's a nuthatch. Okay, I don't know, maybe these guys know they're being filmed, so, oh, there was a guy there. Come here, nuthatch. Come on. Hey, guy. Okay. Here's Abby. Abby's sitting on the deck. Abby the dog. Hey. Okay, so I'm going to take you inside here. Sorry, it's on macro, so it's going to be kind of crummy. And I'm going to show you some beam shots on a white ceiling. So, okay. Alright, so here we have 220 lumens max. Actually, really bright spill on this thing. The rings, the camera's making it look a little more ringy than it really is. And as you can see, a really tight, small hotspot from that XRE. The beam looks nicer in real life. You know, the rings probably aren't so bad in real life, but looks nicer in real life. But even with the orange peel reflector, you still have the Cree ring, which is the shadows in the beam. Pretty decent tint on this. It's not overly cool. It's more of almost a perfect white, just leaning a little bit to the cool side. So but you can tell that spill is really bright. So it's a brighter spill than a lot of other lights I've seen, with a really small, tiny, you know, pretty intense hot spot there. So now I'm going to turn it down to low, which I just, which I just did. And that's a good amount of light for really bright spill. That's a good amount of light for you know, walking around your driveway, in your basement, most outdoor dark activities and stuff like that. So pretty decent. And if you look at the light, you could change the modes by just pulling in the head. If you tighten it to a certain point, see, watch. I'm just pulling the head in, pulling it down. So although it is a twisty, you can operate it one hand. That kind of thing. Okay, so pardon me for a sec. Well, I show you another thing here. I'm just going to attach it to my belt to show you how it attaches to my belt. And I'm just going to take my, to my pocket. Because a lot of people find this important. Hopefully you're catching that, but that's a pretty deep, deep pocket carry. So that's pretty good. Hopefully I'm in frame there. So that's the deep pocket carry capability. Compared to, say, a light like this. So a little bit more sticking out with this light. So, pretty nice little light. Not the greatest run times. I have encountered a problem with this light where it doesn't seem to. It's a pretty bright little light. I gotta add. It's pretty nice. Well, I also noticed a problem with the light where it wouldn't activate once in a while, and the reason for it was, I think this particular light has an issue with it, is dirty contacts and stuff. So if you do own this light or pick it up, and this is where I'm going to get into the most important feature of this light. But if you do pick up this light or buy it or have it, and you're wondering what's wrong with it, it's just this. You unscrew it. It might take a while here. And you take a cotton ball soaked with alcohol, not enough to drip into the light engine though, and you clean that contact patch. I think the aluminum might be oxidizing or something like that. So once in a while you'll have problems with the light, and all you got to do is, and you can do this on your hand too, you know. But you just clean off the contact points, which is this circular ring where it meets up with the the ring in there, and then get in there and clean the stuff out of there too. Okay, so you might have problems with the light not coming on. If that ever happens to you, clean that, stick it back together, and it should work every time. So, pretty nice little light, guys. Just not the greatest run times, but you can get around that with rechargeable batteries. Okay, so I'm going to close out this review with one of the most important features about this light. This light is been out for a few years now, and it's not being produced, I don't think, by Eagletac anymore. But what this means is what it means is that flashlight dealers and outdoors, you know, sellers or websites and stuff like that that have bought this are clearing this light out. You can find this light. I bought this light at Keen Beam in Canada, which is KEENBEAM, which is a flashlight store in Canada. It's a website, keenbeam.ca. Anyways, I bought this light for 20 bucks. And it was originally selling for like $60 or $70, maybe even $80. So I noticed it online at another place for $29. So if you want a small, powerful, well-built, nice, aesthetically pleasing cr123 or 16340/RCR123 light, you know, for $20, it's a pretty good value. So shop around for that, and you might be able to find it. You know, guys, I'm getting on to 26. I'm getting past 26 and a half minutes here, so I'm gonna have to end it. But from me, Jax, here at my channel, this is the Eagletac T10C flashlight review. Okay, guys, thanks for spending time with me. Have a good one. Bye.